the man, yes sir, they killed the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for our label to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the pack of Lewis.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dollars rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grind together, we all came from hunger pain.
Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta, hold it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people? Today, coming with another wonderful episode of, that's right, movie reviews. We getting into it. I'm not by myself. We might have some other people coming in. I understand it's early. There was some people that said they was going to be here like earlier in the week. But, you know, it's Saturday morning, man. Hey, you know how it is. So right over here, I am joined by the one and only Hannibal Taboo. Say what's up.
What's good? What's good? Hannibal Taboo coming at you all the way live. Hannibal Taboo at Hannibal Taboo on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, the inside of Mace Windu's lightsaber, and everywhere that you want to be.
All right. So before we get started, this is a spoiler review. It's in the title, and I'm letting you know now. Shouts to Armand that's in here early on the chat. Look, this is spoiler review.
Spoilers. Little spoilers. Go on.
We're going to talk. We're going to talk about this movie as if you've seen it. If you have not seen it, then look, hey, you need to go. Unless you like, hey, I want to know, and I ain't going in there for somebody to be coughing up on me. Or for somebody to be stealing my seat, because one of my first entry back into theaters, I was like, oh, so they're still stealing seats. Okay, well, I guess we're back to normal. guess we're back when we were.
Nature is healing. Nature is healing.
I went to see Ghostbusters and I was like, oh, there's a family and they're in my seat. There's one. Okay, well, I guess I'll just slide. I didn't have the heart, man. It was like 2-3 kids. I didn't have the heart to be like, look, all y'all gotta go.
Bump that family. Bump that family.
I can't, when you read your ticket, you like, all right, 12, 11, 10. Oh, that's 9. That's 9. Oh, you and your sister and your daddy. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll just kick it here at 11.
I'm sorry. I gotta read from the Gospel of Martin. I gotta read from. Get to stepping. Get to stepping.
Lady Lisa just said, "Rise up." So, I didn't have the heart, man. But anyway, this time my seat was not stolen, even though I arrived kind of late because of LA rain traffic. But I got in there. I saw the movie. So, with the spoiler review going forward, once again, spoiler warning, shouts to Therese. I'm going to ask Hannibal Taboo this one important question.
Yes, sir.
Is it fair for me to say that Sony had the best Marvel movie this year?
In that the pandemic has distorted my sense of time, and I don't even know what year it is. I don't know how to answer that. I had a blast. I had a great time, but did this mean it? Well, let me put it this way. Did this tickle my nerd taint harder than Shang-Chi did? Yes, it did. But is it better than Shang-Chi? No, it is not. It's not.
What?
It's not.
Okay, that's good. We got a good point of contention on that one, because I thought Shang-Chi, I thought Disney pulled way too many punches on that.
I think all
actually
they did was
literally on it.
I'm sorry. I thought everybody was punching somebody in that. I'm just saying, with all due respect, real punching over CG punching. I'm just gonna say it. I'm sorry.
Okay, I guess I'll give you that. It's just, you know what? I've been spoiled by series like Warrior and stuff like that. When you like, yo, this is like the premier martial artist, I'm like, word, cool. You know what I'm saying? In my mind, I'm like, cool, we've seen The Raid, we've seen Warrior. Oh, Disney gonna show up. And then I'm like, I feel like I've seen these scenes done better other places. But, I'm not mad at it.
You're doing a different comparison. Because you asked me about the best Marvel. Now, if you put Tom Holland next to the dude who plays Shang-Chi, Tom Holland is gonna catch them hands. First of all. But if you want to try to call in Warrior and some other people, well, you comparing apples to aircraft carriers. That's a whole different thing.
True that. So, but
I'll take off my typing gloves. I ain't typing right.
This movie comes through. All right. So
this movie
basically
it F's, as the kids say.
Yes. So in this case, we're not going to recap the movie for you, but we will review different parts of it, how we feel about, like the acting, direction, pacing, all that. And speaking of pacing, I want to jump to Hannibal. How do you feel about the pacing of this film? Because I feel like we learn on the go, but we never really take our feet off the gas. And I like that. True.
What this film does is this film assumes that you have seen other movies. This film does not want to stop and explain anything to you. It does not want to stop. It's like you're walking in as the show has already begun and you can deal with it or not. So from a pure filmmaking standpoint, that is a deficit, I won't deny. I've been watching ever since Iron Man in 2008 standpoint, thumbs up, keep rocking. I'm good with you. You ain't got to stop. In terms of pacing, because I was thinking with the whole, the secret identity is out thing, I was wondering how long they were going to walk through that, how long they were going to spend time with it. I thought it was just the right amount of time before the frustration snapped with the MIT rejections. And he was like, yo, I gotta go call somebody. I gotta call Dr. Strange, somebody, There's a lot of other people I thought he should have called. I just think Happy could have made some calls and got them into MIT personally, but whatever.
Yeah. I feel you. I think Happy could have got it done. And I got some words for Happy. Well, not really words for Happy, because Happy was kind of cool, but I do have some words about that scene, but we'll get to that scene in a second. Okay. Because one thing I missed, unfortunately, is I missed your boy Matt. I missed it.
Matt. What? You missed it? What? You didn't get to the theater for it?
Bruh. What normally takes, the time it normally takes for me to get to Baldwin Hills Crenshaw movie theater with LA Rain?
Fam.
I walked in and they were just getting to the bridge. So that's where I walked in.
You've missed important parts of this movie. Distractingly important parts of this movie.
Bruh, I was in the theater yelling. I mean, I was in the theater yelling about how hype it was, but then I was also yelling in the car, like, bruh, have y'all ever driven in rain before? Now, on the flip, in Virginia, where I'm from, sometimes they get a little willy-nilly with the rain. So there is, I've seen the other side where it's like, it's raining. Y'all are doing 80 miles per hour. Y'all want to bring that back a little bit? Like, y'all on 95 acting like y'all ain't got no sense. But
they do not.
Man, I was like, then La Brea had been closed down to one lane. It just, I was not pleased.
Okay, well, let me help you out here. First of all, with the kind of coordination and working together that we haven't seen since Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. followed Winter Soldier. Mm-hmm. On Wednesday, we got a picture of the man coming out. On Thursday, we got your man Matt Murdock using his superpowers in Aunt May's apartment.
Yeah, I heard about that scene.
It's a beautiful bit of synergy that happened that you can't do unless you got millions and millions of dollars to throw around. Because you got to line up stuff real specifically. And you got to keep a lot of people from shutting up. And that is not easy, family. It is not.
Yeah, there's a lot. And it's funny, with all the stuff that kind of got spoiled before the movie came out, there was still a couple of pieces in here that was like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm surprised about this and surprised about that. You know, or it was at least nice to see this or that. You know what I'm saying? Because
there were a number of
this movie was hurt by literally how much digging people were doing to try to find out everything.
People have been thirsty for this movie for a long time, dog, and they've been working hard to quench that thirst real hard.
Yo, but this movie, geeky Andre, I know I missed some important stuff. I was in the look. I'm just letting y'all know there was some not family friendly things I was saying in the car while I was on the way, because I was like, bruh, just merge. Go over there. It's one and then one. We fit together. Just go. I was not it was not family friendly. I was not happy.
NERDSoul After Dark.
Oh yeah. So that when I came in and the bridge happens, the trailer don't do the bridge scene no justice.
It does not. Do you need me to catch you up? Because a lot of stuff happened.
Okay. Drop some knowledge on me.
So much happened. First of all, J. Jonah Jameson is Alex Jones. That's amazing.
That's
fantastic. Then, you know, your boy, he's there's a thrilling sequence of him running with MJ trying to escape the paparazzi and the peoples. Because people are sweating him like he's like, you know, like he's Osama's nephew. Like they're coming at him, right? It's not good.
Yeah.
So he's tripping out. He's trying to seal up the windows, helicopters around the house. You know, they got to get moved into Happy's safe house. Happy, however, didn't notice any of this, made it notice because they just broke up.
Oh,
they ain't together no more. And May is like, you know, it was cool. Go on with your little relationship. And Happy's like, baby though, it's your man. It's Mr. Hogan right here. About to give you this Hogan's Hero. What's good?
That was a good relationship, man. Why they had to break that up? Man.
Well, you know why later on. But anyway, so.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's just nonstop. Peter, first of all, I can't believe this clown and these clowns got the nerve to try to go back to a public high school. They had the nerve to try to go with K through 12 online schooling available. They had the nerve to say, nope, we're going back to a public high school.
Yeah, because they showed that in the trailer, and I remember being like, isn't that a bad idea safety-wise?
It was
or maybe
so
not,
bad.
because you Spider-Man. So
no, it was bad in a lot of ways, because even the security guard, the principal and the teacher, they're like, we love you, Spider-Man. And the security guard like, you're a killer. I hate you. Everybody hates you. You know, it's like, it was rough, family. I wasn't even there, and it was rough for me. So that's all bad. They're hiding out on the roof. And they're like, you know, it's all good. As long as we get in MIT, we'll be together. It's fine. Yada, yada, yada. The letters start coming back. Nope. They're like, I don't want Spider-Man in my school. And your man starts tripping. Your little Spider-Man starts to be like, yo, I got to do something. I got to fix this. I can't let MJ and Ned get screwed up. I know. I'm going to roll up on Strange's house. Strange, he's got a whole bunch of other. First of all, Strange is not the Sorcerer Supreme. I don't know if you know that.
Hold on, what?
Doctor Strange is not the Sorcerer Supreme because he got blipped. Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme.
Oh.
And he ain't giving the job up. He ain't like no vice president. He ain't standing that back over.
Wow.
Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme, family. It's a whole new ethnic world. So
that does change things.
Strange, he got to check in with his boss now. And Wong was like,
that's why, because I remember in the trailer when Wong's like, I'm leaving, don't do nothing. I'm like, that sounds weird for like, no, you don't, I tell you don't do nothing. You told me, no, you flipping it on me. But no, now we know, you're like, look, don't you move nothing, don't touch nothing, sit down.
What's Wong's characteristic move in a movie? I'm going through the portal, and y'all on your own. Screw you.
Yeah, he does that again. He pretty much just leaves them.
Because he's got important Sorcerer Supreme business to deal with, not this shenanigans y'all are up to. So he like, you know what? Leave me out of it. And he's gone, right? And Strange is like, all right, he's gone. Let's go do something stupid.
Look, I'm gonna have to paraphrase Jason Reeves when he was like, so Doctor Strange doing favors for kids now? Because they're in this movie, and I'm sure we all kind of experienced at least a small part. There's a part of like Spider-Man's moves in this movie where I'm like, dude, like I get it, but you're being real immature and selfish right now. And I know you're young, I get it. But bruh, after being snapped up and everything, we figure you might want to heed wise counsel right now. Like you ain't doing this. This is movie number 3, and technically movie number 7 or 6 or whatever. If you want to talk about your appearances, like you know how deep this can get. Like maybe these people just need to go back right now. Like you know.
Let me get this straight. You're expecting somebody to learn from things in a place where people are being prescribed horse dewormer. That's what you're expecting? That's what you're looking for?
All right, now, to some people's credit, they have said that there are 2 versions of the product. There's one for horses and one for people. That's all I.
That is incorrect. There's only for horses. There's only for horses.
That's what they said, and I was like, I don't know.
You know what
but
they also
maybe,
said? You know what they also said to us? They're like, yo, family, check this headline. It says the new Beyonce, she's no Ashanti. That was the headline for the review of the first Beyonce solo album. She's no Ashanti. People say lots of things.
Wow. Dang, I forgot all about that because Ashanti was hitting back then.
And you know what Ashanti's doing now? Hoping she can get a ticket to a Beyonce show. Not even to open.
I wouldn't say that because Ashanti still got a whole bunch of writing credits. She get money. Now, she might not have Beyonce money, but trust me, Ashanti is not looking into one ads for nobody.
No, but she also ain't opening for Beyonce. She in the audience.
I don't know. Would you want if you were Ashanti's? I don't know, man. Sorry for this sidestep, guys, but I feel like Ashanti is big enough to not open for Beyonce, and not saying on the arrogance thing. Just like like it's kind of like don't sleep on me. I'm still Ashanti. Now, if we were talking about like K Michelle or something, now I'd be like, all right,
why you gotta attack Memphis with me sitting right here? Why you gotta come at the Memphis?
Look, man, K Michelle gotta open. She gotta open up.
Okay, well let me tell you about Ashanti. You're right. Ashanti is big enough. She ain't got to open for Beyonce, because she ain't got to open for nobody, because she ain't performing.
It's cold, man. Don't nobody want to hear no Ashanti tracks?
No, baby.
Oh man, it's a cold world. Yo, Ashanti, look, we still love y'all. We still love you. We got nostalgia from back in the day. We here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shouts to Ja Rule, the only brother that has been in a scam with a white dude where only the white dude went to jail. Look, yo, Ja Rule is a piece of black history. Telling you.
But we digress.
So, all right. So I get it. It's just that, I was just like, man, like, I get you, Spider-Man. I get it. But bruh, like, you don't know these people. They already look dangerous. They already did mass hysteria on a bridge. It might be best this time to just listen to someone else. I know you Spider-Man, but you are the neighborhood Spider-Man.
Listen to May. May said fix him.
Yeah, you're right. May did. Oh, May. And May kind of signed her death certificate on that one.
She did.
Yo.
Ice Cube was right there with her. She did.
Yo. Look, something told me, because there was a rumor going around, May's gonna die. And when she said that, I was like, man, this might come back on her. I was like, I don't know. Because, you know, sometimes when they're like, oh, we know someone's going to die, I'm like, well, I don't know if they're going to die just because y'all say so. But then when she was all, you know, like chummy with Green Goblin, I was like,
Can't trust it.
Then, I was like, I don't know. But with that said, you know, the pacing's dope. And now we're kind of talking about the situations, but I want to pull back to the acting. Is there?
Okay.
Were you pulled in with the acting? Were you there? Were you paying attention? Or did you feel like someone was phoning it in, or were you like, I'm locked in, I'm down?
There was so many great performances on screen that somebody had to get lost in the shuffle. And to me, the person who got lost in the shuffle was the Lizard. The Lizard did not have room to do nothing because, first of all, you sitting behind Jamie. Jamie gonna act hard. You got to work hard to work harder than Jamie Foxx, first of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, Willem Dafoe is doing his Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hoo-Hoo, so that's a whole thing to watch. Alfred Molina, when he becomes the good Dr. Octopus, is a whole other dude that's beautiful. That's amazing to watch. And then on top of that, you've already got Happy, you've already got May, you've already got Zendaya, you've already got Ned. I'm sorry, you Zendaya, baby. Zendaya is Michi, that's what it is. And with all of them clowns already acting at full tilt, you gonna say, Andrew, get in here. Toby, get in here. The Lizard like, what I'm finna do? I can't even feature on this track. What I'm doing?
Lizard just like, man, look.
Even your man Flip Marco was out acting him. Even your man Flip Marco, who was mostly special effects, was out acting him.
He was just like, yo, look, I'm gonna come and do the ad libs real quick. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no verse on this track. I'm gonna just do the ad libs. And it was. I'll give you this. When I was thinking about the whole like let's fix some thing, I'm like, man, look, we're probably gonna have to go through a long period where it's dry, but they figured out a way to during these like fixing sequences where there were like kind of like two of them. They figured out a way to pair the people off where it was like interesting to see them kind of like figuring things out. Even the kind of suspense of Electro, like, I don't think, no, you need to watch him. No, you need to sit with him. No. He ain't fully sold on this yet. And then in the end, you kind of see sort of why. It's like, dude, I've been powerless how long? Mm-hmm. Now I got a cool fade. Did you see what my hair was like in the other one? Bruh.
Glow up.
Did you see my hair? Did you see the glasses? Now look at me. You know what I'm saying? I got a fresh cut.
You know what that is, Michael? Growth. That's growth.
Growth. Yes. We will. Man, look, I get it on him. But then Doc Ock comes through and his change, and even the part where like the nano tech takes over his arms, that's funny too. Like,
can we give a shout out to possibly the best Bluetooth controller in the history of the world that did not drop the signal at all? Can we give a shout out to that?
Yes, please. Let's keep it real. We all have Bluetooth of some sort. All right. I got one right here. Let's keep it real. Though we all love our Bluetooth devices, every now and then, that joint will drop for a couple seconds and come back. But that thing never drops.
AirPods, but you can't trust them. They can't be trusted.
You might look. You might drop them. This signal might go out for a second, come back. It might get spotty. That Bluetooth. That's a Stark Bluetooth though. That's a different Bluetooth. You know,
that's an ad for Stark Bluetooth because it's like if your Bluetooth can't control the supervillain's arms for more than several hours, you ain't got a Stark Bluetooth. You ain't got it.
I mean, control the arms to the point where it was like he couldn't do anything. It wasn't like he could like kind of move no, it was full shutdown.
The pairing is solid. The lights is all across the indicator.
Now, Shouts to Tobey Maguire real quick. Jenna James says, you can tell that Tobey has basically retired from acting for a good while since he had some really clunky line deliveries. Love though how they kind of in-universe placed Garfield as the third Spider-Man. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. But I wasn't mad. It's weird. They did a great mixture of knowing your nostalgia plus having the heartfelt moments between these three guys that always thought that they were alone to a certain degree. So they handled it well. They handled it extremely well. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at. I mean, yes, the line deliveries every now and then might not have been to the height of acting, but altogether, this thing worked, man. This thing worked well.
I have to agree because after watching this, I now cannot see the three of them not as brothers, and that was not a relationship that I expected to come into this. That I expected to get like, oh shoot, I actually feel for these dudes as brothers. That hug felt really real to me.
Yeah. And
Tobey, yes, Tobey's act. I think the writing factored into Tobey's stiffness because there's a part where Peter 1 is about to kill what's his name, and and his face is just, he's like, no, baby, no. And part of that is I don't act anymore, and part of that is this is the way it has to be, dude. It's not even something to get worked up over. And seeing the way that the writing worked that in, I was like, okay, y'all know what kind of weapons you're working with. I respect that.
Yeah. And speaking of knowing the weapons they're working with, I'm watching the movie and I'm like, they know how to give you those moments. They know how to give you those moments. No lie. Even though MJ falls, we know she's not going to die. Everyone in the theater knows she's not going to die. She's not. Aunt May already died, so she's not. We already know it. But when Andrew Garfield swoops down and catches her, I literally yelled, yes! You know what I'm saying? I literally yelled that. I was like, yes, he caught her. And it's that they know how to give you those moments. Even when you're like, they're like, she ain't gonna die. I know she ain't gonna die. And they're like, we know you know, but we still gonna get that emotion out of you.
Because the catch was great. But what I'm saying, if you get a chance to slow it, look at his face. Look at his face when he realized, I got you. I saved you.
He almost cried a little bit. I was just like, I was like, man.
Which is why, and I'm sorry to say that as much as I love Tom Holland, and I think he's amazing, Andrew Garfield is still my favorite Peter Parker. Because this clown said, and I quote, are you gonna go into battle dressed like the cool youth pastor? I almost fell.
When he said that, when he said the cool youth pastor, I was done, man. Y'all, look, you ain't had to do me like that.
Yes, he did. That's what Andrew Garfield does to the business.
Because I forgot. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the Amazing line. So because of the way they kind of like did Pete, but now in this one, I'm like, oh, it is kind of cool to have the snarky Pete in here. Because then you got like the older Pete, you have the snarky Pete, and then you have like the young Pete. So like, because when I was just like, all right, so Peter Parker's like cool now. He's like skateboarding and stuff. Like, well, I don't know. And then I was like, I feel like we're retreading this. I was like, I like it, but I don't. I've always been on the fence about the Amazing. Like, there's stuff I like, there's stuff that I'm just like, But
I've always been in for Garfield because he's the funny. Spider-Man developed as he went in the comics. He was nervous, awkward Tom Holland Spider-Man in like the 60s. And then in the 70s, he morphed into, I'm distracting you with my jokes so I can punch you in the face, Spider-Man. Yeah. And that was Andrew Garfield all day. That was his lane.
Mm-hmm. And that's the part that I did enjoy.
That might be a delivery for me. Hang on one second.
All right, cool. So with all that, another thing that's cool that I think like really shows up for this film is Ned and MJ don't seem like extra baggage. Like in a movie like this, it can easily come out like, oh, you know, like get rid of these people so we can have the movie. But one thing that I enjoyed is in this movie, they knew how to like just have enough of Ned and MJ and then like pull back when it's like, all right, cool. There's no reason to have them in. You know, we get the part when he's flying through the power lines and they're kind of there. Then we have them in the basement, but then we also get kind of like removed from them when we're at Happy's place. We get removed from them when we're going to, well, to a certain degree, when we're going to the Statue of Liberty. So I do like that they were involved enough. Enough because this has sort of been part of their journey too, to a certain degree. And seeing how they finish their ride here is nice. And basically just saying I liked how Ned and MJ didn't seem like they were just extra baggage.
Oh no, they were part of the team. We Scooby-Doo this stuff.
Oh man, Scooby-Doo it, please. Even though, so with that said, I guess we can start talking about spoilery moments, things that we thought were going to be there that weren't there, that were there. I'm mad that I missed Matt Murdock because I heard about the catch.
You should be mad at yourself. It was beautiful.
I heard about the catch, and
you want me to break it down?
Apparently he's just a good lawyer.
No, okay. Matt Murdock rolls in this joint, right? Everybody's sweating him. Federal crime. Peter worried about the whole thing. Matt Murdock sits down and he's like, "You good? I got you. You ain't got to worry about no charge." Happy, you going to jail though. Happy like, what?
Oh, snap.
I'm going to jail.
Happy like, what did I do?
Happy, you need to get look. He like, you start. This is a teenager. He ain't even legally competent. I got him out of there. But you need a lawyer.
Because the whole thing with Mysterio,
Mysterio screwed a lot of people. And Mysterio screwed a lot of people because Stark was a jerk for a lot of years, which is true. So at this moment, somebody who hates, who's bought into the whole Daily Bugle line, throws a brick with a note tied to it through the window. Spider-Man, with the spider sense, has his hand up to catch it, but before he can do it, Matt Murdock catches it right. Doesn't look, because he's blind. Doesn't look.
Yo.
Doesn't think about it. And forget, he like, he just kind of gives him the brick. The brick says, Mysterio was right.
So that's going to be the
scene, man. It's a cold scene.
Because I remember seeing it spray painted on the wall. I was like, dang, like people really buying into Mysterio, huh? But then, like we said, in real life, man, look.
Spider-Man, he's no Ashanti.
He's no Ashanti. All right, Eon 001 says, yeah, this movie was wild. I had to keep my lips tight for my American friends. We'll talk about it openly now. Daredevil show or the movie, what's next? What's the next step? For me, it's weird. Part of me says hold him because he'll be in the new Avengers, but we don't even know if they're going to do something like that. We assume there's going to be a new Avengers and also young Avengers or whatever. But I mean, I can't spend any money. I don't know. I assume that because then you could bring in Wolverine, where it's like this dude is on every team. Then Luke Cage, Daredevil, you get Doctor Strange, so you get you get this kind of hodgepodge of different characters, Spider-Man, stuff like that, to kind of come in and maybe do like a 3-episode mini arc or something like that, and then you can branch off into like the new Daredevil series or something like that. Who knows? I don't know. Something to that extent, because I don't know if they want to do a Daredevil show, because I wonder if a Daredevil show can be the Daredevil show it needs to be at this moment, especially with the memory of the Netflix series. Like, I kind of wonder. I mean, I guess so. It just we can't show that blood. Well, no, we can put it on Hulu and then we can do what we want.
Well, you're forgetting a whole lot of people that get murked in a major way on Hawkeye. Not like lightly murked. I'm talking about arrows right in their freaking chest murked on Hawkeye. True. On Disney Plus.
But it's the blood factor, isn't, because like Daredevil had some blood. Like,
yeah, but did it need it?
Some blood.
Did it need it?
I mean, maybe not. I don't know. Now that's one I'm not sure. Maybe. I mean, I guess it would make sense. I mean, even looking at Spider-Man, I mean, you saw he was bruised and bloodied up. Now, of course, they did in the Hollywood way where like Tom Holland still looks good. He just has like a couple bruises. Or like Zendaya has like the little cut right here. like not the face, just a little.
Don't mess with the moneymaker. Come on now. This is Zendaya. Zendaya's me.
Like, all this stuff happening, she got a little touch right there. Like, how you in real life? But hey, I understand Hollywood. I get it. I understand. You know what I'm saying? We can't be, giving her like a whole scar across it. I get it. But maybe, I mean, I guess a show would work. I guess they just have to curtail how they show the violence, I guess.
May I pitch an alternate idea to you?
All right.
Because here's the thing. Charlie Cox came back, and he didn't come back for no little money. Charlie Cox came back cinematic. He ain't like, no, we ain't finna be streaming like this. So here's what I instead suggest. Because we now have Hawkeye, can we spoil that too?
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking about Hawkeye at noon. So yeah, we can spoil
now that we have Hawkeye bringing in Kingpin, which is 1,000% Daredevil category. Spider-Man also has had drastic dealings with Kingpin. And Luke Cage, if we bring in the one as we last saw him, is now the Kingpin of Harlem. We have the room for a criminal Marvel subset of stuff to happen that's away from the cosmic Kang stuff that we're doing elsewhere, right?
Okay.
Charlie Cox wants movie money. TV money's good. Movie money's better. Everybody know that. So if we bring in him in, chances are, and he's starting cinematic, that we're ready to do a cinematic crime slice. So you do the rise and fall of the Kingpin, and D'Onofrio's made for that. He's built for that. He's like, I can do whatever you need me to. You have up late in the thing. He's still loked up with all the guns. You can build something real big right there with actors that you already got laying on the table. And Charlie Cox will be the spearhead for that because he's like, yo, I'm the one that people wanted. I'm willing to bring Mike and them with me, not Finn. Finn can't come. But, let's get this money, y'all. Let's do this.
Let's get this money.
Not Finn. Not Finn.
Okay. So then I'd say we can pretty much keep everybody then in that case.
Except Finn Jones.
Oh, yeah.
But you know who we could tag in?
Finn, I know you like watching the show, and look, man, we tried. We're all full. The Marvel boat is full. I'm sorry.
No, because the Marvel boat is full. Because if we're doing this cinematic, who else has a tie to a criminal empire? Who's busy? Who does everything that Finn Jones was supposed to do better? Shang-Chi. Then you do a whole.
But do you think Do you think? Well, I guess between his sister and him, you could. But see, we don't know it. Sister might go clean. Might just be like, hey, we use this for the powers of good. You know what I'm saying?
The sister ran an underground fight club. The sister's not going clean. She's making that shmoney family. She's in the family business.
Man. She might go down the straight and narrow.
Mike, you can lie to your friends. You ain't got to lie to us. Come on.
Oh, man. Okay, she's probably going to do a little bit of crime.
A little
bit of crime. I mean, what's wrong with having a fight club? I mean,
it's
everybody,
wildly illegal.
You come
It's
in there,
super
you
legal.
sign your waivers. You know what I'm
The
saying?
waivers are not legal. They can't be enforced.
You sign your waivers, everything's fine. You know, they
Everything's
have
not
like
fine.
an ambulance on site. You
The
know what I
ambulance
mean?
is full of goons.
I mean, it's semi-official. I mean, look,
It's not even.
do you
It's
see,
not even a little official. It's not even a little.
did you see how nice it was? They had cameras everywhere and stuff, and different little fight stages. I mean, you know.
Let me point you to the film Money Plane, starring Edge, where rich people gambled in a plane over the thing, and Edge's bug eyes overacted through the whole thing with Joey Lawrence. Yeah, it can look nice. That don't make it legal.
Yeah, it's true. It's probably nothing legal. Well, I mean, I don't know, man. Where were they? They were in Macau. We don't know the Macau rules.
It's not legal in Macau. It's not legal in Macau. No.
Macau might have a whole different set of rules about fight clubs.
But they don't though.
How did she get that big old building there? You know what I'm saying? She had to pay to get the surveyor to come out, and then people to come and do electric work.
You have any idea how many large warehouses in the Gage area are full of criminal activity that ain't no assessors sink? Do you have any idea? Because I do.
The county had to come down and they had to look at it and be like, oh, okay, this is good business.
Oh, is that what you think happened? You think they just hand the assessor a stack of money to look the other way? You really have never lived in. I'm sorry, you're from Virginia, sir. Come on now, you know what corruption is like.
All right, yeah. There's a little, yeah. This, like they say, paying the cops and judges is just a cost of doing business. So, okay, maybe it's not official, but I still.
They said it was broadcasting on the dark web, fam.
That's just because there wasn't enough bandwidth on the light web. You know what I'm saying?
Do you really need to lie to yourself this way? Is that what you have to do to feel better about yourself?
Yeah. She's probably going to do something illegal, and
she has
they
an
probably
army.
going to have to fight about it.
She has a fortress. She has an organization that's lived to do crime for thousands of years.
Yeah, because
she has Razor Fist. Razor Fist is not a dude that you can send to the bank to get you some stuff.
In the movie, when he's like, my sister's going to shut everything down, I was like, might want to watch her. Just like Jamie Foxx. Oh, just put this on your body. It's going to take away all your power. Now I'm going to be right back. No, all right. This is not like being in the hospital and you set up the sleeve for blood pressure and you're going to come back. No, you're essentially taking all of the power that this guy has ever experienced. You might need someone to coach him through it. So, in the villains, one thing that I loved about this movie is that all of the villains weren't on board with one another. Like, you got Sandman's like, yo man, I just want to go home. I want to see my daughter. That's it. I don't really care how I get back. I just want to get back. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be involved in any of this stuff. I want to go home. You got Electro look, this new power, I think I'll take it. Doc Ock is on some basically I feel like a new man. I feel better now. All of this thing, everything can be fixed. Everything can be okay now, which is good to a certain degree. And we got crazy Green Goblin being crazy. And there's nothing you can do about his craziness except just know that he's crazy. Now, Eon 001 says, I can't think of any situation where Finn Jones will work as Iron Fist, especially after the high bar from Shang-Chi. Need a full recast of him. Yeah, it's probably best to maybe leave Iron Fist alone, or maybe bring Iron Fist in through maybe Kunlun through another movie with Shang-Chi has to go to Kunlun for something and Iron Fist is there training. He yo man, I don't mind going on an adventure, and then boom, there they go. And then he kind of comes in, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But Jenna James said Doc Ock said it best, you clown. Yeah, that was messed up when you called him a clown. That was, yeah. And so let's get into the fight Geeky Andre is talking about. The amazing yet not full fight, but the spat between Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. Because, you know, at the end, he's like, oh, I fought Doctor Strange, and I think I won kind of thing. It's like, well, would you guys consider that a full fight, or would you consider that like a little disagreement, like a little, you know, family spat, if you will? Because I mean, it's not like Doctor Strange was going for the jugular. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of trying to reason with him throughout the situation. So in a way, it wasn't really a fight, but I did like the back and forth. Like even when he was when he separated him from his corporal body or whatever, then coming in and being on some, hey, I still can't see how you're keeping this from me. I thought that was cool. I thought that was real cool for him to like go after him in that way, to kind of like stop the fight, stop everything, and be like, look, all right, chill. All right, I want to talk to you because you understand with the implications about what you're about to do. All right, like, you got to understand right now. So still, even with the soul push though, I wouldn't consider it a fight. Now, Hannibal, would you consider their fight an actual fight, or more of like a spat, if you will?
Here's how it's a fight. Doctor Strange got webbed up and stuck over a whole bunch of stuff for 12 hours. You know who's not going to let him live that down? Wong. Wong is never going to shut up about that. Wong is never going to shut up about how a teenager whooped his behind, trapped him for 12 hours, and took his stuff, took his lunch money. So yeah, it's a fight. If you can never live it down, it's absolutely a fight. And he will never, ever hear the end of that from Wong, ever.
Yeah, that is something that I probably reference every now and then. Be like, yo, remember when Spider-Man got you stuck in the mirror universe? That was crazy, right?
You remember when you used to have my job, but you wasn't that good at it, and I took over, and I'm still doing it because I'm better.
And then you proved that you didn't know how to do my job because then you let a kid do a whole universal power spell, and then you messed it up. Then he kind of fixed it, but then you had to fix it in the end anyway. It's just, that's why.
You're kind of terrible. Oh, which reminds me, make sure you mop the kitchen.
Like, yeah, you're not ready for any of it. Now, Jenna James, either Jenna James or MCU, one of y'all were talking about saying, oh yeah, E equals MCU says, yeah, this was essentially a reboot. Yeah, it is interesting in the way they've handled Spider-Man up until this point. It is almost like all of this stuff is one big reboot for the character. But I mean, we honestly already knew it was a reboot from the beginning, so it shouldn't be news, I guess. Like, we knew when he came into Civil War, it was a reboot. You know what I'm saying? Like, we kind of knew that. So I mean, it's news to a certain degree, but it is also kind of like old news, sort of. But I get it. Now, I will ask you this, because MCU says now the next Spider-Man movies that we get will be the Spider-Man that the comic fans want. I want to throw that to you, and I want to say first, is the Spider-Man that we already got one that comics fans didn't want? Because it seemed like it was received pretty well.
Whenever I hear a phrase like that, it makes me wonder if people are even shopping, because here's the thing. I've read 70 comics a week since 2003. You know, I've been reviewing. It's amazing that my brain hasn't melted. I've been reviewing comics professionally since 2006. I've been in Graham Cracker, Mid City, Meltdown. I've been in shops all over the country. And what comic fans want, they don't know. if comic fans knew what they want, they would go write it. That's how we got Jim Shooter. And the fact that they don't proves to me that they don't know what they want. So the Spider-Man that we've gotten, first of all, is possibly one of the best Spider-Man that we've ever seen on screen. He's definitely one of the most charismatic. And not that I like to quote Chris Brown, but for people who are not making billions of dollars to say, you know what you should do to make billions of dollars? It always seems funny to me. You know, there's an old line from a rap song, I don't understand language of people with short money. So,
no.
Too much? Was that too much? Was that too far?
Language of people with short money.
I'm sorry. So the Spider-Man that we have is wildly commercially successful, is wildly critically acclaimed. And the people who want a difference, well, let me put it this way. Do they want the mopey Tobey Maguire Spider-Man who's not funny? I don't. I hated Tobey. I've always hated Tobey. I've never made a secret of my Tobey. Do they want the Parker Luck Spider-Man? Because we can go through eras. I can talk to you about college Spidey. I can talk to you about high school Spidey. I can talk to you about broke adult Spidey. I can talk to you about freelance photographer working in Florida Spidey fighting the slug. Which Spidey do you want to talk about that comic fans want? So I think we got the Spidey that we need, first of all. Second of all, the Spidey that we have has what's now, they've incorporated what they call the Parker Luck from the comics, where things can go well for Peter for about 2 or 3 weeks. And then he has to spend the rest of the time fixing it. Peter don't have a job, don't have a mama, don't have no rent, don't have no academic records, don't have no ID, don't have no social security. Peter is a ghost. People know Spider-Man. Nobody knows who Peter is, but Spider-Man can't eat. So the first thing they got to do is figure out some logistics for him. And that is a very Parker Luck sort of situation. So, Spider-Man can go up. I'm sorry, that's my kids running the blender. Let me close this real quick.
So, Eon001 says, yes, with your chest. Never been a fan of Maguire. And low-key put up with Hugh Jackman, too. I want my short Wolverine.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they're willing to give you that family, but I appreciate it logistically. I mean, they're looking at what's his name, the kid who played Harry Potter, pretty hard. But honestly, I mean, because they showed a picture of him next to Hugh Jackman, and he's like a foot shorter than Hugh Jackman. And when he furred up and bulked up, he kind of has some to him, and he can. The dude can act. But
we already know
for him, it's like, I never need money again. I got all this transphobic money. I don't need to act. Yeah. So what I need to do?
Hold up. Transphobic money, really?
If we're not gonna be real about what J.K. Rowling is, we are all hiding something.
No,
that's all transphobic.
I'm talking about him. He don't got transphobic money.
No. Here's the thing. When you walk in the door and you find out, oh shoot, these are bad people. But he was locked into a contract. He couldn't get out of it.
Yeah, he was just.
I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with him.
Transphobic money?
No. He's not. But he's got in the same. Okay, I work for AOL, right? I work for Disney. I know I got blood on my hands. I took their bad money. I know that, and I don't care because I spent their bad money to do better things. If he spends his money to do better things, cool. But he can't lie where the money's coming from.
But I mean, it's like he didn't know. It's not like he went in like, oh yeah, let's get this transphobic money.
You know who said that? Lots of Nazis. We were like, dude, it was just a job, dog. We were just we thought we were running a summer camp.
Come on, man. I don't know if I put that on him. Now, JK.
I'm not putting it on him because, first of all, none of that came out until he was on movie 6, really. So it was the die was cast at that point. It is.
Yeah, dude. Did 100 movies before it even dropped. He ain't know.
But that doesn't change the fact that, if I knew, for example, that, the Rothschilds or the De Beers family who've killed all kind of Africans was funding me, I couldn't say, oh, I ain't got this blood diamond money. I got this blood diamond money. I just got to figure out what to do with it.
Yeah, you get it. Yeah. I guess I see. It's just, what I mean? I'm like, yo, he was a kid.
I said he's got this. If he robbed a bank full of transphobic money, he would still have transphobic money.
Yeah, I guess so. right. I guess, all right. I'll let you have that. We sorry, man. Look, we tried.
Hey,
JK did it.
I thought what he did in Equus was very bold and very, very interesting for him to choose as an actor. He's definitely an actor who's got some chops. I don't want to say nothing negative about his skill, but we all know it. Anybody who works for any big company knows we got some kind of blood money on our hands. We do. Because they done did some kind of dirt to somebody.
Yeah, some kind of child labor or something on your hands.
Something ugly,
Now, I mean, is it super on your hands, though? That's interesting.
All of us are guilty. All of us are guilty.
It's interesting. It's interesting. I like to go deeper into that.
Oh, you okay? Okay.
I mean, not now, but on another show.
Okay, all right.
Because, I mean, yeah. But I mean, like, say if you're a cashier at Target, that don't mean that you like using prison labor. I mean, I guess you kind of are,
yes,
but you're
are.
Not.
You completely are. You're
you're
getting the money for the prison labor. That's your job.
You're just a cashier.
Let me help you out here.
You're trying to live.
Let me be real simple with you. Do you ever spend money in any store? Yes. So that means you pay sales taxes, which ultimately go into income taxes, which ultimately go into drone strikes, which ultimately go into orphaning children in the Middle East. That's true. Now, the question isn't, can you stop? Because of course you can't. You need to buy food. You need to do stuff. The question is, what are you going to do with your life to offset the evil that your money does without your consent?
Yeah, I mean,
So yeah, the cashier too. Her too.
She ain't never hurt nobody.
Did she buy that candy bar at lunch? Because that was part of a drone strike. I don't want her to act like it wasn't. And it was definitely part of prison labor. Absolutely.
Look, employees out there, look, I understand. You just trying to live. You ain't did nothing to nobody.
I'm not against you. I'm just saying all of it. I'm guilty. I work for Disney and AOL. I absolutely know I'm guilty.
You guilty of all them DVDs that be coming to your house like, man, look.
That was me. That was me. I was the one driving them directly to your house. That was me. It was not me. But
all right, so fight scene. Okay. We have a fight scene with Green Goblin. Very good fight scene. Maybe I missed this before I came in the theater. Was that building supposed to be empty or something? Was that like an empty building?
It's a Stark safe house sort of building. So yeah, you can't have a whole lot of people in and out of there because that kind of unsafes the house. Okay.
Because I was like, because he was like, this is his condo, so I'm assuming there's other condos. And I'm like, they just tearing this thing up. Like, where is everybody else? Is anybody else home?
Did you see the lock on that door? That ain't a lock on the door for a place with a whole lot of people. That's,
True.
That's a high.
I mean, I thought, because when he said condo, I'm like, oh, he's in a building, like, with, I don't know, 20 other units or something, however many. And when they started wrecking shop in that joint, because shout out to the first Spider-Man films. We forgot how brutal those villains were. Like,
I didn't forget.
I got love for Mysterio, but Mysterio ain't got nothing. Green Goblin was not playing.
Mysterio's got he does more property damage. He did more property damage by a lot, but he wasn't about that body count. He was, he wasn't really about that body count.
Green Goblin is not playing in these streets.
Until the end, he wasn't.
Yeah, Green Goblin is not playing. Like, homie comes in the game blowing up cars. And those cars had people in them. Now, I know people will be like, oh no, everyone escaped the cars. Everybody didn't escape them cars, all right? And he came in, he started by killing people. Like, that's how he entered the fray.
That's how he says hello. Mm-hmm.
Yo, and that fight in the building was that was choice. And it was great to see Spider-Man like, hold up. I'm all right, but I ain't real. like between Doc Ock and this dude, I mean, yeah, I'm in his face and everything, but
he was like Ralph Wiggum laughing, saying, "I'm in danger."
Yo, that Doc Ock fight was not even really a fight. It was more like, help me, please. Dude was just running. Let's be honest. Look at that bridge sequence. He was just trying to get out of there.
He was until
it's like, all right, let me try to get out of here, but also save a couple people.
Until he saw that pairing indicator come up and he hit the button, and then he was all good.
New device pair. He had to wait for the. You know how it'd be searching and searching. Look, it'd be searching for your Xbox controller for 2 hours. Searching, so they'd be like, "Oh, there it is." Beep. Not this. Not that Stark Tech.
Nope.
That Stark Tech was immediate.
That's how I got kicked off the Signal earlier. I got the Justin Hammer Bluetooth. I messed up. I tried to go cheap with it.
Got the Hammer Tech.
No.
Don't trust that Hammer Tech, y'all.
No.
So what's your favorite fight scene of the film? Is it the end joint? Is it the first one?
My favorite fight scene? Well, here's the thing, and I noticed this after watching a Mandalorian with a lot of things. A lot of this was shot at night, and I know that was done to save money on lighting and on effects, because it's easier to make things work if it's dark and obscured. My appreciation is mostly for the bridge scene, because the bridge scene is the hardest to do. It had the highest level of difficulty, and you really had to step up and do some wild stuff. I do appreciate the Doctor Strange fight scene, because I love that mirror wacko parallax effect that they do.
Yeah.
I love that. That's fantastic. I have seen the knock the soul out of the body gag multiple times. And the fact that Peter's soul was like, my soul's stronger than yours, punch. So I thought that was a nice twist on it.
Because when he was like, how are you still doing this? How, hold up. And I'm like, yo.
To which Peter would
an involuntary reaction.
No, I would say two things. First of all, Peter would say, how are you not? And second, if we remember from What If, who's the only person the cloak chose? It was Peter, wasn't it?
Oh, you're right.
You see, I see the connection,
it
baby.
It did choose Peter
all
because,
connected.
Which we're going to talk about in a second, what if matters. What if is not just like we playing around on the side. What if matters. So yeah, that means that, Peter also has some kind of latent ability or whatever,
And apparently so does Ned. Because you remember how long it took Strange to get the sling ring to work?
Dude did it his first time, like, man, I really wish Peter was here. And it was like, huh? Oh, hold up. It was like,
and did you see the problem? Ned kept using the wrong arm. He kept using the arm that didn't have a ring on it. I was like, family, what are you doing?
It's like, no, it's the other one, man. But yep, and I mean, Ned Mama always told him, you know what I'm saying? Now, that was a cool scene. You get this long string of dialogue. It's like, I don't know what she's saying, but she ain't happy. And then he's like, can y'all clean up the webs y'all just shot around here? Can you get that cobweb up there? He's like,
beautiful. Love it. Beautiful.
She's like, crawl on the, it's like, isn't this enough? He's like, no. It's like, I'm not crawling. This is enough right here. I'm sticking to the ceiling. He's like, can you get that thing over there, please? He's like, fine.
And what are you doing? Crawling on the ceiling.
He's like, fine then, fine. So, we still got those little moments in there that were cool and, allowed for us to relax a little bit from the tension, because tension was high.
It was high.
That whole selection of the cloak thing, forgot about that. So yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, hey, look, hey, they know what's up. They know what's up now. Because at the end of this, which we'll get into after the ending, the whole, like I said, with the multiverse, it's about to get convoluted. Y'all better start paying attention to everything now. Because comics is convoluted. If you want to follow, the big two.
Super.
Bruh.
Like I said, 70 books a week for years, and I'm barely hanging on.
It's crazy. But I'd have to say for the technical part, the bridge. For the hard hitting, that Goblin fight was serious. But seeing all three of them together, like especially when they were like swinging and then like, I think it was Peter one swung both of them around and then they all just, like, I was like, yo man, the coordination, come on now. Come on man, you can't do this to me. You can't do this to me. I'm all emotional, all excited seeing this because I'm gonna be honest. When the first trailer dropped, I was like, yo man, this really looks good, but I don't know if I want to sit through another Spider-Man movie like this, man. I don't know. I went from, I don't know if I want to sit through this to, yes, he caught her out loud in the theater, along with everybody else yelling.
Yep.
Like, man, look. That plus the working together, the team stuff, beautiful. And, of course, like, yeah, man, I was working with the Avengers. Who's that?
Are you in a band? Are you?
Who that? Avengers? I don't know who that is.
Wait, did you see that video you sent? There's a viral video going around from TikTok. It's like, wait, so in your universe is Iron Man? You mean the Tungsten Gentleman?
Yo, when he said Stan Lee, he was like, no, Spike Lee. Yo, the Tungsten Gentleman was funny, though. Yo, it's messed up. That video is hilarious. But just seeing like him having his moment to kind of get the team together sort of and organize was cool. And seeing how they definitely, they definitely could use some help with these villains sometimes. It came through. Because even working together, Toby was in some trouble.
Yeah.
But Toby was ready because he got his back cracked. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there were so many great moments, but like I said, as brothers, they really like.
Yeah.
Well, let me put it this way: imagine if another you from another universe, and then a second you. Do you know how quickly y'all would get along? You know how happy you would be being with them?
Yeah, because it'd be like, oh, you do that? Oh, hey, yeah, yeah, of course. You know, it would be basically that scene in the film where they were like, oh yeah, of course. Or you'd be like, like, hey. So yeah, it's beautiful seeing them learn together, talk about their different experiences, and then also seeing how they all receive the statement of with great power comes great responsibility, because NERDSoulite has been telling me that all week.
That was the Martha moment, though. That was the, why did you say that name?
But it wasn't corny, though.
But it wasn't. They played it right. Yeah.
Like, it wasn't corny. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, like, oh man, that movie could have been so dope.
But it wasn't.
You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to talk about that movie. Let it
go. Not today, Satan. Not today.
I still say that man Zack Snyder owe me about $60, but you know what I'm saying? That's 2 tickets plus parking, popcorn and soda. That dude owe me about $60. And that's 4 hours.
Don't forget gas money.
Gas money. So yeah, so let's just go and put, let's round it out to about 100. It's been some interest since then. So we'll just say Zack Snyder owe me about $100. You know what I'm saying? That 4 hour stuff, no, I'm not accepting that as payment.
Zack Snyder owe NERDSoul $100.
Yep.
Venmo too.
My Cash App is #NERDSoul. Thank you, Mr. Snyder. Yo, it'd be funny if you actually showed up. I'd be like, oh snap! I'd be like, man.
First of all, everybody knows Cash App is for Black people, so we know we ain't got no cash.
He's like, what's Cash App? Never heard of. There's an app for cash.
Is that like my Venmo? Is that like that?
It's like yes, it's like Venmo, but it's blacker.
It's got Megan Thee Stallion as a spokeswoman. So
Yo, you bringing Miles up in here? You bringing Miles so he can you bringing Miles so he can.
He said there has to be a black Spider-Man somewhere in the multiverse.
Yeah. So Jamie, I'm gonna just call him Jamie, even though he's Electro. Jamie was like, man, he was like, there's got to be a black Spider-Man somewhere, and it's like, there is. So like all of these moments, the great acting, the great fight scenes, this movie went from, in my eyes, like I said, I don't even know if I want to go see this. To not only am I happy I went to see this, but this makes me want to go back and watch the other ones again. You know what I'm saying? Like this is kind of like after I watched Rogue One and went straight home and watched A New Hope. Like that's how I feel with this movie. This movie got me like, yo, I got to get on somewhere. I'm sure there's some Spider-Man on sale somewhere. Going to get those movies because I do have a couple of them, but they're in Virginia and I want to watch them now. So,
Can I watch it?
You want to watch Spider-Man too? Well, I don't know. Some of those Spider-Mans, they're a little too old for you.
Keep him, Andrew. No Toby for him. No Toby. We don't want him to see dancing Toby.
Yeah. Not the cool Toby walking down the street pointing at people.
I never forget.
Oh man, that symbiote will make you do things strange, boy. Whoo. So. Janine said she clapped in her theater and yelled out Miles. Let's see. And Eon 001 says first movie. I've scheduled a weekly rewatch next month when the crowds die down. Oh, all right, cool. I see you. I'm just glad. I will give a shout out to because if it wasn't for how LA does things, and I know people feel their own ways about stuff, but in LA, they're like, look, you gotta have that vaccine or you ain't even getting up in this joint. Like you gotta have that vaccine, and we ain't talking. Look, if you ain't vaccine, you ain't get. And then even in there, they like you still gotta wear your mask. They like, look, we double checking. All right, you might have that Omarion, and we don't even know. You know what I'm saying? So
I want you to come into my entourage. Sorry.
You might have that Omarion, boy. We don't want to take no chances. So I ain't going front. I do feel, cause I know there's some places where, they ain't checking for nothing. They like, you come on in. So, and I will say, you know what I'm saying? I feel a little bit at ease here going to see it. You know what I'm saying? Keep that mask up and just be like, all right, look, all right, face forward. I ain't looking at nobody breathing all up in their air. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you bringing Pete over here too? He bringing the whole crew, y'all. All right, so we got everybody up in the house upside down for some reason. you want to just
swing on the ceiling? They got swing on the ceiling.
That's right. So, all right, so let's get into. Let's go in and get into them good old. Yeah, let's get into them good old post credits. All right.
All right.
Yeah, let's go on and get into them good old post credits. I want to know how you feel about the first post credit. How do you feel about the first post credit?
Okay, first of all, and this is, I've been reading ever since the character was introduced. I've read multiple series. I've read multiple incarnations. I hate Venom. I've always hated Venom. I loathe Venom. I think it's the poster child of everything that went wrong with comics in the 90s. That said, the recap was funny. I was able to enjoy that. And depending on how the business deal goes, we know how shady Sony is. We know how they are. Depending on how the business deal goes, this puts symbiote flavor into the Marvel universe that you can play with lots of ways. You can go straight, Peter gets the costume and stays the Black Cat. Or you can go, this turns into a different symbiote and Flash Thompson turns into Agent Venom, which is not technically the same thing because you can yada, 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 legalize your way out of that. There's a lot of different slices for this deal. Which remind me, I'm sorry. Did we talk about how did Flash get that book written so quickly? How did Flash get a book done?
Yeah.
That man is a machine. But anyway, sorry. So the post credits gives us the opportunity to toss a symbiote in, or if, and honestly, it incentivizes Sony to play nice. Because Sony, if they play nice, they're like, we could bring Venom into this next movie. We could have Venom standing next to Iron Man. I'm sorry, War Machine. We don't have an Iron Man no more. I mean, we could put him next to Shang-Chi and sell better in China. You want that? Quit playing with us inside so we can put Spider-Man on streaming. Quit playing. So.
Yeah, it's true. This does, because when I heard about the post credit from Let There Be Carnage, I was like, whoa, excuse me? Who authorized this?
I actually don't know that one. That was it. Because like I said, the second I see Venom, my brain just shuts off. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Venom, I don't hate Venom, but it's tough sometimes, man. Like, in general, he's kind of a okay character, but he's based off, well, no. All right, hold up. Because you also have the symbiote wars and everything, so he's built since then. But at first, he was generally just like, I want revenge on Spider-Man, and that's basically his whole thing. Now, of course, Venom has kind of like taken on his own lane. We've had Venom Space Knight, which was kind of a fun, okay read. And now you have the whole thing. What is it with Eddie Brock's son? Is it Eddie Brock's son? Or yeah, okay. So
Eddie's the god of symbiotes there.
Yeah, so you do have some room to go somewhere, but from what I've seen from Venom, it was maybe not for me. Now, I haven't seen Let There Be Carnage because I literally fell asleep on the first Venom. And when I woke up, all I heard was Eminem saying, Venom, 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 go get him, Venom. And I was like, this is whack. All right? This is whack. This is straight up whack. And I don't mind. If you're an Eminem fan in here, I'm going to be honest. He's got one album. One of the possible. Oh, and I know y'all going to be mad about that. But he's got one of the possible. Let's stay real. Now, talented, skillful, yeah. But can you put together albums that I actually want to listen to? But,
why?
Oh, you even got the little Spider-Man too. You brought Venom and look.
Mike, why are you attacking Chino XL this way? What did he do?
Oh, don't get me started on Chino XL. Look, this boy, look, we giving Disney too much money right now. All right, yes, that's Venom. Don't be, we giving hidden. All right, we ain't no pay first. No, Chino XL. One of the most rapid.
I'm sorry, or did you mean cannabis? I'm sorry, did you mean cannabis? I'm sorry.
Yo, cannabis. Look. Don't get me started on any of these super rapidy rap. Cannabis might be one of the worst because of the literal supernova fire that was around him on the mixtape circuit, and then that album that was.
Here's the thing: I would not want to stand on the stage if I was in a battle. I would not want to see Cannabis or Eminem or Chino XL walk out across me. I would not want it for one verse. I would not want to go against any of them. No. However, an album, well, in the words of KRS, instead of blow for blow, let's go show for show, toe for toe. Yo, you better act like you know.
In Return of the Boom Bap, all right, classic album, one that neither of those artists had. I guess you could say Eminem probably has one. I don't know if I'd say classic. I could say good. I don't know if I'd say classic, but anyway. With that said, Venom, the scene was cool where the guy was trying to explain to him, like, yeah, man, like people disappeared for 5. Remember?
My whole family disappeared.
It was like an alien came and then people disappeared, then people came back, and then you don't remember none of that? He was like, nah, what are you talking about? It was like the Avengers, like he was trying to like name all this stuff, and he was just like, I don't understand. I don't get you. I don't hear it. I don't see what you're saying.
Buy these.
What? Don't be telling them to buy those.
Buy these drives.
Your man trying to get an endorsement deal.
trying to get that Disney deal. So I did like that. And then, of course, them leaving the symbiote. Of course, after saying we need to find Spider-Man, that, that changes the game. And it does open the door. You know what I'm saying?
Iron Spider?
Yeah. Actually, Iron Spider was there to a certain degree. So Iron Spider was there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He got to fight Doc Ock. You know what I'm saying? So, that was cool.
Spider-Man turned to black?
Well, he might turn to the Black Spider-Man. Or, the black suit Spider-Man. He ain't never gonna turn into a black Spider-Man. Please don't do that, Sony. There's a lot of trouble with that. Just have a black Spider-Man. Don't have him turned into that.
That's left in the dust.
The leather one. Do you turn to the leather one?
No. Nah. So the final post-credit, well, not really a post-credit, the trailer for Doctor Strange, numero dos.
In the multiverse of madness.
Yes. And Mordo is why you don't kill your villains. All right? Because he's back for more. And he's bringing a little gift for all of us. Yo. Now, okay, I'll say this. The whole thing with the whole situation with what's her name? With Wanda. And him being like, "Oh, I'm not here for that." It's like, you're not? You're not even gonna bring that up? How she enslaved the whole town?
First of all, let's remember that Doctor Strange sloppily did not write down the ingredients for his spell before he started, and almost destroyed the entire multiverse with Peter Parker. So, and I will quote Mordo here: the greatest threat to the Marvel universe is Doctor Strange, because if you look at Phase 1, most of the problems were caused by a megalomaniacal egomaniac with facial hair. Now he's dead. Now we have a new megalomaniacal egomaniac with facial hair who's a threat to the whole universe. You're welcome.
Yeah, true. It's just.
Am I lying?
It's just he brushed that off like it was nothing. I mean, the woman was like, "Please, let my child come out the room." Like, they were begging her. One person begged them to let him die or whatever. And she was like, "Are you here for?" He's like, "Oh, don't worry about all that. I mean, it happens. Hey, what can you do?" And then, oh man, this reminds me, they had the black woman excuse her in the last episode. Oh boy. Yeah. All right, yeah. All right, we're gonna let that slide. We're gonna let that slide. She was like, "They don't know what you've been through." Oh, they don't? They know what they've been through. Man, look,
it's pretty bad.
I look, anyway, but seeing Mordo come back and seeing the way they're playing with the magic in general, and now seeing that we have the evil Strange, the actual evil Strange, not like the accidental I messed up Strange, but the evil Strange sets the tone for some cool stuff.
Could Doctor Strange Spider-Man turn?
What?
Nah. Oh, go ahead.
What's fun about this to me is that we're setting up Multiverse of Madness. We're bringing in Wanda, and nobody is talking about how many variants are now running loose from Loki. That the TVA is asleep at the wheel, and that anything is possible. So if in fact we're going to do a Multiverse of Madness, that brings That brings Kill Panther into play. If the actor was alive, I'm not gonna lie, Star-Lord T'Challa would be fantastic to see if the actor was alive. It creates a possibility.
I'm still down for a recast. Y'all saw the video earlier this week, y'all. Like, I'm still down for a recast, and if necessary, I'm down for a recast for the siblings. Cause look,
I'm not down for recast. I'm down for moving. Well, Letitia's put us in a very hard position here, Mike. She's put us in a very hard position.
Here's my thing. I'll say this. I'll always say this. when it comes to our heroes, we don't have many, but that hero is a symbol. Heroes and symbols move on. There has seemed to be no issue of heroes and symbols moving on when they are Caucasian. Seems to be no issue. In MCU alone, there have been 3 Hulks. But now all of a sudden, there's a black symbol. And go on and put that 3rd one in. I mean, go on and roll them.
Eric Bana is not MCU. We're not bringing the poodles into the MCU. We're not doing that.
He punched the dog in the testicle, right?
We're not bringing Gamma poodles into the MCU. We're not. No.
So, all right, well, 2.5. We'll split the difference on that.
Can you watch it?
But
Can you watch him?
no, not right now. So when the hero is black and you see the response from all these young black boys, all these black people that are happy, excited, celebrating in the theaters in ways they haven't celebrated for any of these other movies. Not in the way culturally that they've celebrated for any of these other heroes. All of a sudden, oh, well, we can't just go on, just go out, we'll stop it right here, just no more. All of a sudden, T'Challa can't be recast. All of a sudden, can't recast him. Nothing you can do about it. Too bad, just, he was so great. Even though the family, even in his words, other fans have been like, yo, look, just recast T'Challa. We love Chadwick. But the symbol, the character can live on and should live on. I see a whole bunch of WS energy inside of this. I'll just say that. I'll say that. That's where I'm seeing it from.
If I may present a counterpoint.
Okay, sir.
First of all, the idea of recasting a Jim Rhodes, recasting a Hulk, who is essentially now a supporting character in the Marvel Universe, because a mainstream Hulk movie is harder to justify than putting him in as a supporting character, is different than taking the center of a franchise and recasting for lots of reasons. And this is why I said Letitia's put us in such a difficult position. That Marvel is not in the I'm here to make a population happy business. Marvel is in the I'm here to make money for Disney so they let us do whatever crazy thing we think up business. And that requires scheduling. This is not the place for CP time or waiting until you're halfway through a production to say that you don't want to be vaccinated. This is, we have to get this movie out on a certain amount of time to fit in with the rest of the gajillion movies we're making. So recasting, relooking at things, that's time that this production, that this franchise, and that this entire business doesn't have. If you want to recast, then you essentially don't want to do business in a Marvel way. And again, as I said earlier, I don't understand the language of people with short money. If you don't want to do business in a Marvel way, then you're not really doing no business. You're not. So to that point, the best business choice for Marvel would be, as with the comics, bring in Shuri as the next Black Panther, pass on the mantle, as has been done for thousands of years, as has been evident, as is best shown on the cartoon Black Panther's Quest, where they showed the Pirate Panther and the first Panther, and a Panther who put a space station up in space thousands of years ago, and all kinds of stuff. Let's see some more of that legacy to create greater stuff, because yes, while Black boys got their shine, it's fair for Black girls to get their shine too. And see, let's get this Black queen on. Let's have her be the first Black central figure, yada, yada, yada. I'm not saying to take anything away from what we've done. I'm saying the business has a necessity to move on. That the business said, okay, we killed off Tony Stark, so now we need to bring in the Black guy. We de-aged Christopher Evans, we need to bring in a Black guy. We need to migrate the business away from the old model that had worked from the 60s forward to make it more modern for now, which is how we get Kamala Khan, which is how we get America Chavez, which is how we get all kinds of things that we had never seen before. And you have never seen on screen, other than briefly on the animated series, a female Black Panther. You've never seen it. It's time to move on from that, because the things that people say, oh, there's been 1,000 Batman, there's been 1,000 Spider-Man. That's not a good thing. That's not a place to hang your hat on. That's a bad thing. That's a sign of creative bankruptcy, that you're unable to develop something new. So we have the opportunity to step into something new. And if you think them black grandmamas was coming out 3 and 4 times to see Chadwick, wait till they see a sister on the throne. Wait till you see a sister. Wait till you see the church groups rolling up on that one. 1 billion in 27 days might have been a little slow. So,
all right,
based on
I feel you. I do want to make it known though, the energy about having T'Challa there instead of Shuri has nothing to do with like not wanting a sister to be. It's just that in general, Black Panther has been T'Challa's story. Not saying that T'Challa has been the only Black Panther. Now, I do want to make that known. It ain't got nothing to do with like no gender war craziness or whatever. It's just that in general, it's been T'Challa's story. Similar to like Superman has always been Clark's story. I mean, yes, there's been other Superman, of course, but or like Batman or Spider-Man. In general, it's been Pete's story. Now, of course, you know, there's other Spider-Man out there. It does look like we're gonna get Miguel in the Spider-Verse joint from the last movie and from this trailer or first look, whatever they want to call it, and stuff like that, like Silk and stuff like things of that nature. But in general, Spider-Man has been Pete's story. You know what I'm saying? Unless you want to talk about like Ultimates, which we are getting some Ultimate stuff in, but I think that's where the energy is coming from. Is like, yo, we want to see T'Challa's story continue because T'Challa's story wasn't over. Chadwick's story, unfortunately, was over. Not meaning that we're here to diss Chadwick or anything like that, but that we want to see T'Challa's story end, and that Shuri placed well in this role. It would be weird to kind of put her in now. Maybe, but see, that's the thing. When Chadwick passed, that kind of messed things up because I can see Shuri coming in and say maybe 2 more movies, let Chadwick go, do his thing, retire, and now she's trained up under, and then maybe Bast approved her worthy or whatever, and like, or you know, you can do the Dr. Doom thing, whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do, and then like it goes on to her. But then it does seem kind of weird where it's like, all right, we haven't finished T'Challa's story. We want to see T'Challa's story finished, not that we're anti-Black women or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not making that kind of accusation. What I will say.
No, I'm just saying in general, there has been that energy out there that people that want to attach T'Challa don't want to see Shuri shine. And
Here's
I'm like, well,
I
was like, Shuri has shined in the comics already, and it looks like she's about to shine in the movies. Nobody's against that. What they're saying is like, we ain't finished T'Challa's story. And if this was any other hero, they would not be like, oh, well, Bruce Wayne's story just ain't getting told no more because Michael Keaton dead. Like, they would not have done that. They'd be like, Christopher Reeve's dead, we ain't telling no more Superman stories. They would not have said that.
Here's what I will say. There's two things that I'm gonna put on this. First of all, people who always say the Black Panther has always been T'Challa's story. The most dangerous words in business are this is the way we've always done things. Because if we did that, we would never get Apple computers, we would never get Microsoft, we would never get Twitter, we would never get Facebook, we would never get Google. The way that things have always been, the way the things that we have seen in the past are not a map towards the future. They're not, first of all. That's the most important thing, especially Black people need to understand, because the failures that we have had in the past and looking at the past for a map to the future is only a way to look for what to avoid. So that's first. Second of all,
okay.
With the opportunity of variance, with the door that's been kicked open for what's the name? If per se they would want to bring in, I don't know, an Aldous Hodge as Star-Lord T'Challa. If they would want to do something, if they would want to do an alternate universe, because now we have precedent with 3 different Universal Peter Parkers. If you want to bring a different universes T'Challa that's not Chadwick, that's a completely different story. But it ain't gonna be this T'Challa. That's not the way the business works. And again, the business has to keep rolling on. The business, from a merchandising standpoint, needs to figure out how to sell more action figures. We've sold all the Chadwick action figures we got, and that's cool, and we're happy with it, and we respect it. But what if we get the Star-Lord T'Challa action figure? What if we bring in, I don't know, a midget T'Challa? I don't know, whatever. However we want to do it, but let's not do the same thing. Let's get this universe's T'Challa. Let's call it a wrap on that. If you want another T'Challa, we got variants. We can run that play. We can bring them in. We can keep them out of their own timeline. It doesn't even matter because we can torch the whole timeline with the TVA if that's what you really need to do. But why? What story specifically are you trying to tell that needs this? because we've done the falls, we've done T'Challa getting chucked off the falls. You definitely are not going to be able to do Enemy of the State, which is the next greatest T'Challa storyline, because Tony Stark is dead. And ain't gonna be no more Tony Stark. We ain't recasting that. So what great T'Challa storyline are you looking to tell? Where he romanced a teacher in Harlem? Nope. Where he had King Solomon's frog? Anybody could do that. What's the story that you're looking for? Because people keep saying, oh, the story is not done. What story?
Well,
what
I mean, he does have
story
stories.
are you trying to tell?
He does have stories with Doom. He has stories with Namor. He has stories with Storm. So I mean, there are other stories that you could tell.
There is no Storm. Storm doesn't exist, and Doom doesn't exist, and Namor is coming in this movie.
Yes, but the idea is that Doom and the X-Men will be around soon. We all assume, because X-Men is too large a property to sit on. I think Disney knows that. So we assume that they'll be along soon, as well as Doom and stuff of that nature. So those are 3 stories that I think are pretty big and have enough meat on the bone to tell. But I mean, I could be wrong. I think you're wrong
because they've got Kang right now. Kang is going to be front and center for this phase, and that's a lot to deal with. And when you have an entire phase of stories and you've got the X-Men sitting on the shelf, you can say, okay, let's drop X-Men in 2030 on them, because we've got that kind of a timeline. It's fine to wait that long because we own everything, and it's not like they're not going to show up. It's not like they're not going to spend the money. And Disney's never been wrong with that strategy, because remember Kevin Feige said, Wakanda's too unrealistic for us to make 10 years before the movie, knowing that he was already in pre-production. He knew that. And he lied because it was the best business choice.
All right, word. All right, cool. I digress. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I digress. I heard you out. I'll let it roll. But on to I guess final thoughts for this Spider-Man that we got going forward, who's I do have a question, but you know what I'm saying? And thank you guys for coming in with all the BP stuff. Sorry, we went on a tangent, but we back. He broke now.
Super broke.
Okay, I'm not saying that Aunt May was rich, but Aunt May ain't leave nothing. What about the house they was living in? Like I was like,
that was an apartment. They lived in Queens in an apartment.
They were living in an apartment?
Yep, second floor.
I just assumed she kind of owned that condo or whatever, or I guess. So okay, never mind. I just assumed she owned that condo or owned that apartment. So okay, all right, never mind. Wasn't it paid up for one more month or something? Did she leave any money? Wasn't there some life insurance?
It's clearly paid up for at least a month because he walked into an empty apartment. Because people cleared out because Aunt May, according to the world, didn't have any relatives. So they cleared out her apartment. So he's got a little bit. He's got a couple weeks.
Because everybody forgot about Peter Parker.
There is
but
no such thing.
Still, that doesn't mean that he doesn't have an ID on him where he can be like, hey, this is my aunt. She died.
If he shows the ID won't be in the system. You know how you just got the barcode on the back?
So, okay, so this means this. Okay, that goes to the magic question too. So this covered everything, all the digital stuff, anything, any picture he might have been in, any tweet or Facebook message, like anything. Because if that's the case,
there's a spell in Dungeons and Dragons called Modify Memory, and the Modify Memory spell is that you cast it on somebody, and if they fail the saving throw, then you tell them. For example, I tell you, Mike, I'm like, yesterday you decided I was your best friend. Then your brain scrolls back and makes sense of everything that needs to do. You make sense of it in your own brain for yourself. It has nothing to do with me. I just tell you the thing and you let your brain figures it out. So if somebody comes across, for example, the Daily Bugle post about Peter Parker being Spider-Man, they won't see the headline. They'll click it, and in their brain, they'll see a 404. Now, if somebody from another planet comes, they'll see a video playing. But on Earth, everybody will just see nothing.
Okay. Because I'm thinking everybody forgot, but like stuff like his driver's license still exists. You know what I'm saying? Like it, or you know,
if he scans his driver's license on the screen, it'll come up as nothing, even though he can look at the screen and see all of his stuff. Magic.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right, then I guess in that case, nah, he ain't got no money. He ain't got.
No money.
I'm like, she died. Then he get some life insurance cash or something like that.
He had no relatives.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. So, all right, then I guess that works. That works. I let that slide because I was like, dang, is he broke? Like she had to have like a little insurance policy or something. Like, I mean, especially with your, with your
Whatever
nephew
she
being
had
Spider-Man,
went into
you might want.
Whatever she had went into probate.
Wow, and you ain't never getting that out of probate.
Especially if you ain't got no ID.
Especially if you ain't got no ID. And at least the situations I've heard of, working in the real estate situation, when a house goes into probate and there's like 4 kids, y'all gonna be in court for a long time. For a long time. Get your parents to fill out that information because it's gonna be a long time. House is gonna be sitting there empty. And can't none of y'all really get into it. For me, I guess that makes sense. I'll let that slide. Ain't no money for Peter. Now you just gotta get that off the grid, like Geeky Andre said. I get that off the grid money. You know what I'm saying? Got to work under the table. You know what I'm saying? But
You know who's got a lot of money? Drug dealers.
drug dealers do have a lot of money. I mean, you can
Just
rob
saying.
drug dealers. Like Blade said, this ain't the March of Dime.
It's not.
So, oh man. So, with that, any final thoughts for Spider-Man, and then any hopes for Doctor Strange too?
I really overall enjoyed the film. I appreciate the energy that was put into it. Now, would I have loved to see the 1970s Spider-Man just walk by? Sure, I would have loved that because I'm a weirdo. But
wow, that would have been interesting. Just to have him like sitting around, like, or even a situation where like, man, I used to be able to do all that, and somebody be like, well, please.
Yeah, I mean, since we don't have Stan, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
They're a little, but those are such small points that do not detract from my enjoyment of the film. I really appreciate the place this puts in, and I think it sets up Tom Holland. I don't think Tom Holland's going anywhere. I think we're going to see plenty of him as Spider-Man for a lot of years in the same way that Chris Hemsworth, like, nope, I'm going to keep being Thor. See ya.
Yep. Look, I see Tom Holland taking a little break just to like do some different stuff like he's done. He went and did, 2 Netflix joints or 1?
At least 2. That's
Yeah,
right.
I think he went away, did 2 Netflix joints, you know what I'm saying? Sowed his royal oats, and then came back, and did the Spider-Man real quick. Held that down. Any hopes for Doctor Strange too?
Like I said, I wanted to get so weird. I wanted to go so far, and I wanted to be so jam-packed with cameos that I can't. That the Easter egg videos that you're gonna have to do will be 4 hours long. I want to see every variant. I want to see every timeline. I want to see every possibility. I want to see I want to see Aldous Hodge take off his Hawkman outfit and put on a Star-Lord T'Challa outfit. That's what I want to see. I want it to get that weird.
Yo, Aldous Hodge is probably one of the dudes that I wanted for T'Challa way back. Also, the young brother that I brought up with Solar a long time ago, the brother that's in Queen Sono. Back when Queen Sono came out, she had a love interest that was kind of like, they was kind of dealing with each other like back in the day, but then they kind of reconnected, but he was sort of down with the wrong people, but it wasn't like intentional. Like, that dude is cool, and I cannot remember his name, and I do not want to butcher it. But that dude, he can act from Africa, you know what I'm saying? He's from, you know what I'm saying? He's from the motherland, all right? From the motherland. And, he can already do fight scenes, because we seen Queen Sono, so he ain't got no problem fighting and flipping and rolling around and all that. So Those are my two picks. Then I'm like, yo, look, both of them is super ill, bodied up, and ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, just, I don't know, start some new adventure that they got to go on. Spider-Man, this movie started in a place where I was like, whatever. Now it's one of my favorites, and on top of being one of my favorites, it makes me want to go back and watch the other films.
He's very charismatic. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it that shows how good this movie is when it makes you want to go back and watch other stuff. I will say this: the energy that I felt towards the other Marvel films, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, for me, it seems like, because those movies I was not, Eternals I didn't even go see, because I was like Black Widow and Shang-Chi for me were like not where I wanted them to be, not where I expected them to be. I was like, I went in being like, oh man, this is gonna be amazing. And then I was like, oh, I feel like after watching this, I feel like Disney put like way more energy into this than to those other projects. Now I know they don't all go on at the same time, but what I mean by is like, just like from an energy standpoint, because I don't feel like I got those moments in Black Widow, like those fan moments. I don't feel like I got those, and I don't feel like I got those in Shang-Chi either. Look, I'm like, yo, where was y'all at, Disney or Marvel or what? Come on.
I'm curious what kind of fan moments you would have wanted from Shang-Chi or Black Widow, because I saw Eternals and I like that quite a bit. But I'm curious.
I haven't seen Eternal.
But what kind of fan moments what deep Shang-Chi lore did you want to see pop up on screen?
Well, no, it doesn't have to be deep lore, but just those moments that make you cheer, that make you kind of like shout out. They didn't really. I never really had a moment that made me cheer or anything like that. Nothing that really made me excited. Now, once again, I'll say, what's his name? Tony Leung, the father, the guy who plays the father. I know I feel like, just like Spider-Man, I feel like y'all could have did that without killing him, because I really love the father character in it. Like the beef between him and Shang-Chi was great. And just the heat coming off that table when they were sitting together, I was like, this is a moment. Like, we need this. And like, this would be dope further in the future. But I know, gotta kill him, go on, whatever. But I never got those moments where I really got to cheer in that movie. Like yeah, and like get hype, and just none of them. There were scenes that I thought were cool, but there was never like a oh snap or nothing for me. I don't know. And Black Widow, I thought I was gonna be hyped for that, and it didn't really. It's not that I hate the movie. I'm just like on the fence with it. It's just like, and maybe that's another thing. Maybe these movies don't have to be a 10 every time. Maybe it's okay for a movie to be okay. Like Black Widow, like I don't hate it. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? There's stuff that I think is cool about it. I don't really like what they did with Taskmaster. But I do like the first interaction between her and Taskmaster when they were fighting one another. Like that first fight where she crashed the car on the bridge and they fought for a little bit. I thought that was super cool. Like just the choreography and matching the movements was super cool. Like I thought that was cool. But as a whole, the movie didn't like, I don't know. I'm so used to these Marvel movies being like that great roller coaster that it kind of sits around where sort of like Iron Man 2 and Thor 2 kind of sit around for me. Like they're okay. I can watch them. I mean, I don't hate them, but I'm not like, oh, yo, where's Thor 2 at? It's not happening. So it's when I watch this, I'm like, yo, since I know all of these movies were at least in some version of production at the same time, I feel like most of like the let's get hype energy went to Spider-Man, and like they ain't helped nobody else out. Like
interesting, because a lot of the what you call cheer moments for me in this movie are nostalgia moments. They don't exist without the nostalgic, the pre-existing material that I already have appreciation for. The Andrew moment doesn't work unless I already knew that Gwen Stacy died. You know, so that's why I'm like, what is it you're looking? Because there were lots of things that I actually cheered for. Well, let me put it this way. I would never put Shang-Chi or even Black Widow in the same neighborhood of Iron Man 2, which I loathe almost as much as I loathe Iron Man 3. Thor Dark World, I watched Dark World again, and it would be better off if they weren't speaking Elvish through the whole thing, because that robs a lot of the performances of weight. So, but yeah, I wouldn't put these anywhere near those films. For
maybe I'm being too harsh on them. Maybe I'm being too harsh on the.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm wondering what moment you were looking for, because every moment that you call a cheer moment in this movie was a moment I would have seen. I would have written it myself because I already knew it existed. It was a comic book reference moment, and the lore doesn't exist in Shang-Chi or Black Widow to have those kind of moments. You don't have, you remember that great run of Black Widow where blah, blah. You don't have that because that wasn't what the market would support.
Okay. All right, then. I guess I could give you that. It just. Well, okay, hold on, because to that point, when the first Iron Man came out, I'll be honest. I'm admitting. I know there's gonna be comic fans that's gonna be like, NERDSoul, really? I've never bought one Iron Man comic. Rarely bought any Avengers comics.
Not even Demon in a Bottle? Wow.
I was not an Iron Man fan. I was never interested in them. I always thought, I was always on the X-Men side of things. So I was never really super into Avengers. I was just like, whatever. But when I saw Iron Man, I was like, yo, this joint is sweet. I came out of the theater pumped. And that didn't happen to me. But maybe it's also the knowledge that Black Widow's dead. So maybe that's another thing. Because I was kind of on the train of well, she dead now. What are we going to do with this? Because I do think that a Black Widow should have came between Avengers 1 and 2. But, hey, look, that's water under the bridge. Let's go on that. But, so maybe that mixed in with the fact that I don't have any real previous super cool adventure of Black Widow knowledge. Maybe that's it. But yeah, both of those films are the reason I didn't go see Eternals. Because I was just
Eternals has a lot of surprises that are absolutely not like the comics. Wow, yeah. And I enjoyed it quite a bit, but a lot of people don't like it because it's the least Marvel of Marvel films. It's the least formulaic. It's the one that, breaks the rules in the most, I believe, interesting ways. But a lot of people aren't up for that. And I get that or whatever, but I think Eternals is great. The fact that I got Yelena out of Black Widow is good enough for me because Yelena is the best possible thing to come out of that freaking franchise.
Yes, I will give you that.
That actress is entertaining. And like I said, for Shang-Chi, there was so much majesty and depth that was added to things that I thought was really great. The moment when the father lets go of the rings and finally, in his facial acting, accepts his son as he is. I was like, dude, yeah, you had to die because you can't have that moment unless you die. You can variant yourself, I guess, but yeah, I needed to see that growth for him as a character, and it was really, really amazing.
But don't you think there's somewhere to go after that realization, and then maybe stay alive to figure out how to pick up those pieces with his kids? You know what I'm saying? I think there's something
You're
there.
saying you want him as a reformed villain? You want him as a reformed villain trying to, because that, in my mind, would give him less to do and give him, would weaken his, because what redemption is he going to have for thousands of years of murder and slaughter?
Yeah, I mean, I get you. I mean, but there is, like, I feel like there is something there for him to try to reconnect with his son and daughter. And maybe not being a reformed villain, but being somewhere in that gray area where maybe he's not super great and maybe he's not super bad. Maybe he's like somewhere just trying to, be, I don't know, be maybe a different man that trying to work it out without those powers or something like that. I don't know, because the actor is so dope. And the interaction between him and his son and his daughter was great. And that was like I was like this, like, look, forget all the other stuff. This is cool. Like, this family, like, these three is cool. I don't need none of this other stuff. And also, this is a pet peeve that I have in stuff in general. They did the continuous jumping back. I would have actually liked them to tell it from him being little first, but I know a lot of people don't have patience for, America. I know, like, I would have thought it was cool, but I know probably like 80% of the other people would not have been like, he's a kid. Like, what are we gonna do with a kid? I was like, yeah, but he's a kid. He's getting beat up with sticks and stuff, man. This is cool. Well, I mean, no, it's not cool for him, but I mean, it's cool for the story because he's learning how to be a ninja or be a super, kung fu man. So that's a karate on the inside, all right? It's karate man hurt on the inside, but
you're digging yourself such a hole, and I'm just getting out of your way.
But I don't care about none of that, man. It's like, I mean, look, you know what I mean. So I would have enjoyed it from a kid growing up. I thought that would have been cool. But that, I know that doesn't play well with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I know it don't play with everybody. They be like, he's a kid. I don't want to see no kid. I want to see a grown-up person. And then, yeah, I had to look at Aquafina for like 2 hours, so that didn't help.
That's the biggest problem of the movie, yeah.
That didn't help. Because I was thinking, man, she'll only be in for a little bit. No. They made her the hero of the joint.
She's the co-lead, yeah. And that's disappointing and exhausting, but, luckily she can't be an Avenger, so, we are who we are.
Yeah. So anyway, with that said, guys, Doctor Strange for me, about the same. Throw everybody in it. It's called the Multiverse of Madness. So let's see everything. Let's see the lady from Lovecraft. Let's see Loki. Let's see, I forgot her name now. The lady Loki. Let's see,
Sylvie.
Let's see Sylvie. Let's see Thor. Let's see, we already going to get Wanda. Yeah, Falcon, sure. Why not? I don't care.
He got shield.
Well, I mean, he ain't really Falcon no more. He's Captain America now.
He's Captain Samerica.
Oh. So, bring everybody in. Throw everybody in. Why not? It should be crazy.
Falcon, though. The other Captain America was blue.
Yeah, the other Captain America was blue. Yes, he had like some blue on, but this one he got white on. So yeah, that's right. You know what I'm saying? See?
Falcon is blue because he got a shield, right?
Yeah, he got a shield now.
And he got a star.
And he got a star.
Because I got a star.
Yep.
Like,
he got a star. He tore his star off of his shield, but he
is a star.
He is a star. The star around here somewhere. But it's crazy. The crazier, the better. So before we get up out of here, a big shout out to everybody in the chat. We've talked about Spider-Man for a minute, and you've got some other jewels in here too. Shout out to Geeky Andre. Double up. What?
Do you want...
No, I ain't watched no Venom. You want to see no Venom?
Venom is the bad guy.
Yeah.
Fought Spider-Man and Miles Morales.
See, y'all learning right here. Venom is a bad guy who fought Spider-Man. All right. Mm-hmm. So
and Gwen.
And Gwen.
And Miles.
And Miles.
Because he got powers. Yellow powers.
Yeah, he got yellow powers. The electricity is yellow when it's don't worry about
it. Punch the bad guys and got the powers on them. Like,
yeah. See, you know what I'm saying? When he punches the guys, he got the power.
It's a lot of fighting.
He's also conflating the movie and the Miles Morales video game. So just don't worry about it. He's now putting those together. It all works in the Spider-Verse. Eon 001, Jenna James, Geeky Andre, E=MC Square. Janine came through. There were a couple of trolls, but we didn't chill with them trolls. Jenna and I got them up out of here. All right, we had Armand mad early, Terez super early. Tyler Bennett even came through. You know what I'm saying? You know Tyler Bennett is crazy. Tay came through. So much love to all y'all. If I missed your name, it's not on purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? It happened.
The comics of Spider-Man.
Yep, you know what I'm saying? No, he ain't bring. Look at you. Look at him, staying on brand. This boy done brought in more Spider-Man stuff. Look.
Of comics.
That's right, because look, YouTube can't stop this right here. See, YouTube can't. They can't look. YouTube, you might be able to play a piece of music, they turn you off. But if you show a comic page, they can't turn that. Nah, see, content ID ain't that cool. So, Hannibal, tell them where they can find you.
Every week on Bleeding Cool, you'll find my reviews. I'm the head comics reviewer there. I'm also on the iHeartRadio podcast Nerdorama with Mo and Tawala every week. You will find False Flag on operative.net, which is free subversive adventure fiction. What if G.I. Joe and professional wrestling had a baby on World Full of Superheroes? That's free. Wow. You can binge the entire season at operative.net with illustrations by DeMar Douglas. And we hope to bring Project Wildfire to you in stores, paper shortage and pandemic notwithstanding, sometime in 2022.
Word up. Oh, okay, all right, I see you. So, with that said, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places. You know what I'm saying? Go and put that thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. Put that thumbs down if you don't like it, but make sure to share anyway. Show love out there, you know what I'm saying?
And hit the bell.
Oh, and give love on Christmas Day. You know what I'm saying?
And hit the bell like your man said.
That's right, hit the bell. You know what I'm saying? Go and hit that bell, get notified for everything. Even though people that have hit the bell say YouTube ain't notifying them anyway, but we know why. All right, we know why. All right, I bet you other creators ain't having that bell issue. No, I don't know if they're having it or not. But I know one thing. In general, there's been articles written about how certain creators. Oh yeah, we gonna tell them in a second. Well, yeah, in a second. We ain't telling them yet. We gonna hold that one back. But there's been articles written about how certain creators that look a certain way are not being promoted in the same fashion on front pages and impressions. And so, you know, I'm just saying, you know, if y'all want to help a brother out, you know what I'm saying, hit that share button, because you know the algorithm, they trying to hold your brother down. You know what I'm saying?
Algo racist.
About Chonga tomorrow?
No Chonga tomorrow. But Chonga has already been funded, issue number 2. And I got mine on the way. So I hope y'all got y'all. So we're gonna leave y'all with Anwar Hassan, P.L. Parker Lewis, and who else?
And Patron.
That's right.
And Ninja Cosplay.
Ninja is not coming on this. No Ninja cosplay, but shout out to Ninja Cosplay. She dope. So from us to you.
She got costumes.
Yes, she got costumes.
Does she want to be a ghost?
No, she's not gonna be ghost. I don't know what she's gonna be next. But
On the Halloween.
Yes, on Halloween. She might be Ghost Spider. I have no idea. I really don't know. But anyway, from us to you.
She might be on Venom.
What? Look, we gone. Don't worry about this boy. From us to you, thank you for chilling. And to P.L. Parker Lewis, peace.
I'm the man, yes sir, that killed the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for our legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the Parker Lewis.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dollars rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding cause we all came from Hunger